So this one, we are saying that the forecast error variance decomposition focuses on how much variance in each response variable is explained, or the forecast error, how the forecast error in each response variable is explained by interest rate and stock prices shook over time. And we're also saying that this variance decomposition, it measures the percentage of variables forecast error. So the keyword here we are interested in is actually the forecast error. Yeah, we want to see what is the effect of shock on the forecast error. What will be the effect or what will be the percentage of variance forecast error that is explained by the shock to each of the variables in the system. And we are saying that the values in the y-axis, they are from 0 to 1, where 0, it actually means 0%, and 1 means 100%. And the values on the x-axis, these are actually the periods that we have from the short run. The short run is from 0, and the long run is actually the maximum period that we have, which is 8. So now I want to show you how to run the analysis. You can first of all delete these ones. So to run the analysis, we come back to statistics. We go to multivariate time series. We go to basic VAR. But for this case, instead of IRFs, we include the factor error variance decomposition. So we click on this and we click OK. The same VAR model will be run again, but the graphs will be different. So the graph in this case will be that one of the decomposition or variance decomposition. And you can see the graphs are different. So in this case, we are saying that in this case, we focus on how much variance or the forecast error in each response variable is explained by the interest rate and stock prices shook over time. And I have summarized these results here. So when we shook, the first one is the response to an interest rate shock. So when we shook one variable, or when we shook the impulse, what is the response error of the, or what is the variance error, or what is the forecast error of the response function? So we can look at the first one. If we shook interest rate, how will the interest rate behave? We go back to this particular graph. So you can see even here below we have, just like the previous one, we have the first one is graph by its name. Then we have the impulse variable, and we have the response variable. So if we shook interest rate, how much forecast error is displayed? So you can see if we shook the interest rate, the forecast error of itself shoots from 0 to 1. This means the forecast error of interest rate is highly caused by itself, is highly influenced by itself. You can see it is almost 100%, because we said 1 is actually 100%. So you can see it is something like 99%. So it means that the forecast error of interest rate is highly influenced by itself. That's why it is almost 100%. Then, what about the forecast error of stock? How is it affected by interest rate? The second graph. and you can see it is quite low. Yeah, it is around 0. So if we show interest rate, the forecast error, the variance of stock is very little, maybe around 0 point something there, or 2 or 3%. So it is very low. If we look at that graph, if we shook stock, how does the forecast error of interest rate change? And you can see it is very little. The forecast error of interest rate is not significantly. The effect is very small if we shock stock prices. And then if we go to the last one, if we shock stock, how is the forecast error or how is the variance of stock affected? Meaning, how is the forecast error of stock affected by a shock on itself? And it is very high. You can see it is almost 100%, though it dies out slowly. It is almost 100%. And that is how we interpret the variance decomposition. So I have made a summary of whatever we have discussed. So a shock of interest rate on itself, in the short run, the initial effect, it is dominant. Almost 100% of the variance is explained. That is what we see here. Almost 100%, because this one we said it is 100%. Then a shock of interest rate on stock. How does the error of stock change? A small fraction. It is just a small fraction. You can see it is a very small fraction here. Small fraction. But it increases slowly. Actually, it should be increases slowly over time. And it is very insignificant. The same case to stock. If you show stock, how does interest rate behave? It is near 0, almost nothing. This one here, it is very small. Yeah. So then we look at the last one. If we show stock, how does the forecast error on stock behave? And it is very strong, almost 100% variance explained. And it remains like that as we go to the long run. The same case here. So it is very strong, and then it remains like that as we go to the long run. So that is how we explain the variance decomposition. So whenever you run a VAR, you have 3 things to explain. You have to explain the coefficients, you have to explain the IRF, you have to explain the variance decomposition. Then you can say that the analysis of that particular VAR model is well done. And I have included very important materials here to learn. You can be able to, you'll check these materials and they are good. They'll give you more information on how to conduct that analysis of VAR.